So if you're watching this video, it means that you're probably looking for the best way to make money online from anywhere in the world. There are countless opportunities that you can pursue, and all of them have their pros and cons, but there's one that stands out above the rest.
We're talking about the new kid on the block, a business model so effective it literally transformed our businesses and our entire lives, yet almost nobody's doing it right now. This new online business is called Nomadic Clothing, and it's by far the best way that we found to generate an income online, live the wealthy nomad lifestyle, and be your own boss.
So you're probably asking yourself, what is Nomadic Clothing all about? How does it exactly work? Or how fast can you see any financial returns from it? But before we answer all of these questions and more, first we need to have a look at who Nomadic Clothing is actually for.
So who is Nomadic Clothing actually for? It is for exactly two kind of people. On the one hand, we have the 9-to-5er. So if you're looking to replace your income, quit your job, and if you're sick of what you're doing and it's just not fulfilling you anymore, that's something for you. Maybe you want to build something new on the side and still stay in your job because you love what you do, but you just want something more out of life.
It's more about the fulfillment and the purpose thing that you're looking for. Like, some people are not only burned out, but they are also bored out because they're doing the same thing over and over and over again. And it's just frustrating and they want a little bit more out of life, like you just said. And the other part is, the other person who this is for is the business owner, right? A coach, a consultant, an agency owner, maybe content creators and even course creators. This is exactly the right thing for you to do because you can close anything. You can close clients, you can sell more courses, you can increase your prices. And this is really for any business owner who's struggling to get clients, is undercharging, or even maybe charging hourly or offering courses for very cheap, right? But what actually is Nomadic Clothing? Nomadic Clothing is basically the art and the science of closing the deal. That means that getting clients is basically the focus. It's the lifeblood of any business, because if you don't have clients and you don't generate any revenue, you have no business. And to be honest, then there's no freedom, right?
Yeah, so it's essentially the foundation of everything, and from there on you can build on top to your freedom, to your abundance, to your wealth, right? There is one catch though, we have to mention this here. This is not a get rich quick scheme, right? This is also not some sort of like passive income and stuff like that. We truly believe there is no passive income for like doing nothing and it just comes in and you gotta do nothing. We think it's much better to work on your active income first so you can increase that, get more of it, and then you can switch over to like more passive things like real estate or investing in any sort of other assets. So first you have to generate income before you multiply your income.
So what are the benefits of Nomadic Clothing? Nomadic Clothing is basically the highest paid skill in any industry. You won't find anything that's paid more than Nomadic Clothing, because you have very high leverage of your time and you can close a 6K deal within 40 minutes, 45, maybe an hour, and you can gain a commission of maybe 15 or 20%. And if you do the math, it could net you like $1,200, right? So this is also a stable skill that you can build. And once you got this down, there's literally no business owner who's laying off people who are the #1 generators of income in their business.
Yeah, I had so many discussions with different business owners and people in the past, and they're always like, this is the main revenue driver. You don't touch this person, like no way. And they also get like kind of special rights, which is cool.
And there's the funny story, Manuel. Remember, sometimes the closers who are performing really good, like it's 11 in the morning and then they come to you and they're saying, yeah, I'm off for the day because I already closed 3 deals and now let's go hiking in the mountains.
Really crazy, yeah. And that's a good point. Like, you can literally do this from anywhere in the world. Literally what you need is only your smartphone to be able to do meetings on a phone and an internet connection. Like, it's as simple as that. And this really allows you then to become your own boss and live a self-determined life. As you just mentioned before, you can really be planning your day yourself. Like, you can do some calls and conversations in the morning and then off to hiking or enjoy, go surfing, whatever you would like to do, right? And also, as you said, there is this earning potential, which is huge in this space. This can be anywhere from like 10 to 20%, which is pretty industry standard on any kind of product or services, which can range from like 2,000 up to 10 or 15,000. And if you do the math on that, you can see like there is good amount of leverage for your time invested in this.
And if you do the math and you want to maybe do 10K a month and you can focus on closing deals at 5K, for example, you only need like 3 closes a week or so to make the 10K a month. This is unheard of, right? And nobody can take this away from you. Once you got the skill down, this is recession proof, guys. And another good thing about Nomadic Clothing is that the barrier to to entry is super low. You don't need to have a lot of skills. You have to, of course, learn nomadic closing first, but you don't need a degree or so. You don't need to go to college. You don't need to spend years in training. You can learn the nomadic closing questioning technique, and within 3 weeks or so, you can start using that on prospects and close your first high-end deal, right?
Absolutely, Sam. And what we're talking about here is in an ever-growing market. So we recently figured there's this Forbes article that actually puts this in numbers, and it's like a 350 billion with a B dollar industry, supposed to be by 2025. And so like there is demand for this nomadic closing skill is constantly increasing. And this could be like really your slice that you take from this coaching education industry and get your slice of the pie.
And the beautiful part of nomadic closing is that you can do this even if you're an introvert. Like when I got first started, I was very introverted, and I learned to be extroverted because I needed to do YouTube videos and talk to people and stuff like that. So I learned to be extroverted, and now I'm a mixture of ambivert, for example. So I gain empowerment by talking to people and also by recharging on my own. But for all the people who are just introverts, it works. It works because you can leverage the wealthy nomad questioning technique that we have also done another video about that you can watch here on the channel. We're going to link that also in the description. And then you can just close people by asking questions at the right time and make people close themselves. So it's even easy if you're an introvert, right? And the entire nomadic closing model gives you purpose and fulfillment because you can do it in any industry, with any topic, with any coach that you like. Let's say you're interested in habits, for example, and you want to teach people how to develop good habits and get rid of bad ones. You can totally go out there, partner up with a coach that is in that space and close deals for him. And we're going to walk you in a moment through the entire process so that you know exactly how nomadic closing works. But you have to know some things first, right?
Yeah, we have even more benefits at this point. So when we speak of technique, like a lot of people are like, hey, yeah, this internet stuff and online business is nice, but I'm not like super good on those kind of things. And this is actually good. As I mentioned before, you only need a phone, and that's literally it. The mouth you already have, right? So you can talk, you need the phone, and that's it. And you also don't need tons of capitals to start. Like there are these online businesses where you need to invest like 100K or 200K to actually get just started. That doesn't even mean you're getting successful. So you don't need that here. But what we advise here at this point is to have like 6K to invest in your own education. You don't need to do this with us. We do have a mentoring program, but like it's just for skill building. Do it for yourself. It's about you, not about us here. And yeah, Sam, as you mentioned before, we're gonna now dive into like how this is all exactly working. What is the framework? And yeah, let's go.
So nomadic closing is pretty dang simple. It's a 3-step process. And at first you have the coach here on the left side, and the coach is running ads or creates social media content, right? He does that to generate prospects that book virtual meetings on your calendar. They are already warmed up by the coach. He's delivering great content, breaking objections, educating about the program and everything. And then they book a meeting with you, like I just said, and you just knock them over the edge. You're just breaking the last limiting beliefs that they have maybe, or answer a few basic questions. And then after like a 45-minute conversation, you then close a 6K deal, which will net your commission of maybe $600 all the way up to $1,200 in commissions, right? This is a really straightforward principle and system right here. And the good thing is you don't have to do any of these crazy convincing tactics, because you can use the wealthy nomad questioning technique that we mentioned in another video, like I mentioned before, to close these deals easily. And then the prospects are closing themselves basically.
That's a very, very good point here, Sam. A lot of people usually ask like, okay, like how is this different from like the average salesperson, like using these sleazy tactics to pressure people into buying something they actually don't want? And this is very different here. So as you mentioned before, people are warmed up. This means you're not the person calling them at 7 p.m. in the evening, they're eating dinner, and you're like, hey, guess what? I have a new product for you. Like it's
Did you hear about the new vacuum?
Yes. So no, this is not that. We're not disturbing anyone. As you said, like there is no prospecting done here. There is no spamming people on Instagram or like chatbotting people or what kind of things you may know. Also no cold calling at 7 p.m. while they're eating dinner. These are booked appointments. When the conversation starts, people are like, they plan this in their day. So it's not like they're surprised by having a conversation or a meeting with.
Basically, they want to get sold to, and that's the difference here, right? There is no no hypey sales pitches or so. That's just a nice conversations that you would have with a friend during a nice coffee. Also, you don't have to go to an office and slave away hours of your time. You also don't have to go knock on doors, God forbid. And you also don't have to offer cheap products and services. This is really high end, starting at 3, 4, maybe 5K. And really the script is flipped here, right? You are the price. You're not some slimy car dealer or something else, right?
That's all working out because we are asking questions in a curious tone. We are interested in who the other person is, what the problems and challenges are, and so on, instead of just pushing a product on them, shoving it down their throat and being like, hey, you gotta buy now, go, go, go. That's the main difference. And this flips everything, as Sam just mentioned. And so the next question then obviously is, how fast can you pull this off? How fast until there's any financial return benefits you can see from doing this? And we have people that get this off the ground in like as little as 2 to 3 weeks. So if you're watching this right now and we have something prepared for you in the end as well, this could literally be you in 2 to 3 weeks from now, pulling this off, getting yourself started with Nomadic closing and seeing your first results, have your first deals closed.
So if you feel like this could possibly something that you're looking for, then we highly recommend that you check out our free 1-hour web class where we show you exactly how Nomadic closing works and the exact framework that we use in order to close 6K deals and above.